Genesis chapter 19 has always baffled me. Lot is outside his house and two angels appear to him. I'm assuming he knows that they're angels by how they look. I don't know. The scripture doesn't really say. He greets them, he bows down to them, he tells them, look, let me let's wash your feet and let me make you a meal. Why don't you spend the night with us? They're like, no, we'll spend the night in the square. But Lot doesn't let them. He insists so strongly, they go ahead and acquiesce and stay with Lot. He even prepares a meal for them. They all sit down to eat. I just want to pause right here for a second to say, I don't think of angels like eating food, although there are a few Old Testament references of them eating. I think of them as being spiritual creatures that wouldn't consume food the way a human would. Just saying. So after they eat, they go to bed. And then the men in Sodom, they appear at the door to Lot's house, banging on it. They had seen the angels go into the house and they wanted to have sex with them. So they said, we see these good looking men that went in there with you. Let's have relationships with them, have relations. And it's awful. He says, please don't harm these two men. I have two virgin daughters. Do whatever you want to with them and leave the men alone. But the angels, what they do, they make the people outside, the people who want to come into the house, they strike them with blindness. And the men end up turning, they can't find the door because they're blinded. They can't find the door to Lot's house. So they basically end up abandoning that whole excursion. What I didn't like was Lot offering his daughters. That was insane. If you have your kids and they're virgins and you're going to just offer them to these like madmen, it's like sacrificing them. But again, this is the Old Testament. I know that the rules are different, but I'm still floored when I read it as a Christian, as a person. So that's the first thing that Lot had approached Sodom as an alien, and the men, as they were banging down the door, they even told Lot, you came here as an alien, now you want to tell us what to do. There's no way you're telling us what to do. We're going to treat you worse than your daughters. But when you read further down in the text, you do see that the daughters were pledged to marry somebody. They were engaged. So that was puzzling, that he was going to like just offer these two women, virginal women, to these men. They were pledged for marriage. And the angels did tell Lot, look, we're going to destroy this whole city. You need to get out. Your daughters, if you have any sons-in-law, all of you have to get out. Lot tells his sons-in-law, look, we got to get out of here because these angels are going to, this place is going to be destroyed. And his sons-in-law don't believe him. They think that he's joking. And it kind of reminds his daughters and his wife, they were hesitating to leave. Lot was like packing stuff, I guess, and getting his things together. But the angels are like, no, you got to go because he's going to destroy it. So they had to actually take him by the hand and lead him out of Sodom so that he wouldn't get destroyed. As they were leaving, the angel says, don't look back. And Lot's wife disobeys and looks back and becomes a pillar of salt. I have a lot of thoughts about that, and I will cover them in my next video. But that always bothered me, that you can disobey and turn into a pillar of salt. And further, after they finally leave the city, and again, Lot even argues with the angels. He doesn't want to go where they want him, where they're telling him to go. He wants to go to this other town that's close by. They say, okay, we're not going to destroy that town. You can go there, but hurry up and go. After they leave, the wife looks back. She becomes a pillar of salt, and then it's just Lot and his daughters, because the sons-in-law, as I had already mentioned, thought that he was joking and did not come. When they're out in this cave, Lot and his daughters, the daughters say, let's get our father drunk because we want to continue our family lineage. So we want to sleep with our dad. Each one night, one of the daughters sleeps with the father, and she gets pregnant. The second night, the other daughter sleeps with their father, and she gets pregnant, so that they can actually continue their family line. Like when you read the Old Testament, it just blows your mind when you see that, because I'm assuming back then the population was just so sparse that you would see the inside more often. Effects weren't as strong as they are nowadays. So if you have any thoughts about chapter 19, share them. Genesis chapter 19. Share them in the comments. If you have any insight, please share it. And I'm going to talk more about the pillar of salt in my next video, and I will be doing that soon. On that note, check out my holiday romance book bundle. It's 5 wholesome Christian stories, highly reviewed, highly rated. Butterscotch Bliss is the story of Raquel. Raquel was always told that her father died when she was a baby. She receives a mysterious phone call one night stating her father is alive and in hospice and must see her before he dies. So she's stunned when she hears this news. She thinks it's a prank call, but it turns out it's not a prank, it's real. Just as she receives this devastating news, her ex-boyfriend, Patrick, walks in. He sees that she's upset, and she tells him what's wrong. And he comforts her and offers to drive her to see her dad, because there's a massive snowstorm coming. Her dad lives far away, and they cannot fly because the airports are closed. So she agrees to let him drive her. But when Patrick appears after she receives this news, she has not seen him for 3 years. So to see him right after she finds this out is shocking. But he comforts her. And the reason why they broke up 3 years ago, he never really told her why. He gave her a reason, but it wasn't the real reason. He had to return to Ireland because his mom passed away. But that's not the real reason why he never came back. So you will need to read Butterscotch Bliss to find out why Patrick and Raquel had to separate for that period of time. All of my books are wholesome, wonderful stories. The link is up here, and I will leave the links in the comments as well. So thanks again for listening, and have a great day.